It's 2025. We're halfway through the decade, and if you've been outside lately, you've heard it. The noise. A constant hum of discontent. A rising tide of voices. Not another movie sequel, though those are plentiful too, but a roar of frustration echoing from Phoenix to Portland. Coast to coast, people are making their voices heard.
But while the streets are alive with passionate cries and determined footsteps, the big advocacy groups, the ones with the resources, the established networks, the power to truly influence change, are oddly silent. The people are shouting, demanding to be heard, but the organizations built to amplify them, to champion their causes, are whispering, if they're even speaking at all. And that silence is becoming deafening, a stark contrast to the vibrant energy on the streets.
As one Chicago librarian put it, a sentiment echoed across countless communities. They're not trimming fat, they're amputating limbs.
The energy is electric, palpable in the air. Strangers share water, offer support, swap protest tips, united in their shared purpose, and roll their eyes at politicians glibly calling this fiscal responsibility, a phrase that rings hollow in the face of real suffering.
These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, abstract figures divorced from reality. These cuts are gutting our communities, dismantling essential services, and jeopardizing our collective futures.
Across the country, from bustling metropolises to quiet towns, people are gathering. Teachers, nurses fighting for their students and patients, retirees, students, all concerned about the world they're inheriting, small business owners, the backbone of our economy, all united by outrage at the government's new budget and the devastating impact it will have on their lives and communities. For families, the bedrock of our society, for our seniors, those who've built the world we live in, and for communities, the very heart of our nation, this isn't just policy, it's deeply personal. It strikes at the core of what matters most. The government, in its infinite wisdom, handed them a bill, a hefty invoice, for a future they never ordered, a future they never asked for, and certainly can't afford. Now, they're demanding a refund, with interest, and they're making their voices heard loud and clear.
Streamlining, in their words, means no after-school programs for our children. Eliminating inefficiencies translates to no bus to the doctor for our elderly, leaving them stranded.
Healthcare gutted, a systematic dismantling of essential services. Reduced Medicaid, leaving countless individuals without access to vital care. Closed clinics, leaving communities without local healthcare options. Longer waits, stretching into hours, for those who desperately need medical attention. Vulnerable citizens left to fend for themselves, abandoned by the very system meant to protect them. Environmental protections, axed, discarded like yesterday's news. It's as if polluters themselves wrote the budget, ensuring their continued destruction of our planet. Politicians talk about tough choices, with a dismissive wave of the hand, but for those affected, it's not tough. It's cruel, a deliberate act of disregard for human suffering.
If you can't afford to teach kids violin, they can't play a sad song when you cut their lunch. It's a double blow, a cruel irony.
So, what's in this budget that's turned everyday people into activists, igniting a firestorm of protest? In short, devastation, pure and simple. Public education slashed, a devastating blow to the future of our children. Larger classes packed to the brim, hindering individual attention and learning. Fewer teachers, overworked and underpaid, struggling to meet the needs of their students. Arts and music gone, robbing children of creativity and self-expression. The grassroots are mobilized, but the institutions are AWOL. In past fights, these groups were everywhere, organizing, suing, making noise. Now, their silence is a break from character. If the pros won't advocate, what are they for?
Activists feel abandoned. We need their resources, their expertise. Where are they?
The absence is glaring. The groups meant to be loudest are the quietest.
Instead of leading, they're issuing bland press releases and tweets, political thoughts and prayers.
Normally, this level of outrage would be a rallying cry for advocacy giants. The ACLU, AARP, Sierra Club, their job turned protest energy into political power, but this time, they're missing in action. This disconnect, this deafening silence may be the most damning reason. It speaks volumes about the priorities and values at play, for their inaction. A void where voices should be, a stillness that betrays a deeper malaise. The people need action, not excuses. They're demanding tangible change, not carefully crafted statements that lack substance.
Some fear aligning with something disorganized could hurt their brand. The pristine image they've cultivated, potentially tarnished by association.
And maybe, just maybe, their leaders are out of touch. seeing protests as fleeting, not a movement, underestimating the power of collective will, dismissing the urgency of the moment.
They're tankers in a world that needs jet skis, slow to respond, cumbersome to maneuver, outpaced by the speed of change.
To protesters, this feels like appeasement, not strategy. A calculated move to silence dissent, rather than a genuine effort to address the root causes. Big organizations are slow, bogged down by bureaucracy and endless meetings, a labyrinth of procedures that stifle innovation and delay action.
Some insiders say they're playing the long game, waiting for a better political climate, hoping for a more favorable landscape, a shift in public opinion that aligns with their interests.
Why the silence? What forces are at play that keep these megaphones muted? It's not a yoga retreat, it's about money and politics. The intricate web of influence where financial contributions shape policy decisions. Many advocacy groups rely on corporate sponsors and foundation grants, sometimes from the very establishment pushing these cuts. A paradoxical situation where funding sources are complicit in the problems they claim to address. Rocking the boat risks their funding, the fear of jeopardizing their financial lifeline, silencing their voices in the process. Stories like Moms for Libraries and the Budget Transparency Collective show what's possible. Ordinary people leading, innovating, and winning attention. They're not waiting for permission. They're making change happen. The future is now, and it's digital.
When politicians spin, fact checks go viral before they leave the podium.
These organizers crowdsource funds, coordinate messaging, and reroute marches in real time.
This is digital native activism, fast, decentralized, and effective. New grassroots groups organize overnight using TikTok, X, Signal, and WhatsApp as command centers. Viral videos and trending hashtags like #BudgetBetrayal mobilize thousands in hours. Live streams connect protesters nationwide, building solidarity.
With advocacy giants sidelined, a new force rises, the people armed with smartphones and Wi-Fi. This is a test. Will the giants learn to dance with the digital activists or become dinosaurs? The answer will shape the future of advocacy. The people have found their voice, with or without the professionals. The only question, will the pros listen or be left behind? To stay relevant, they must listen, amplify, and empower the grassroots. That means sharing resources, offering legal help, and supporting, not controlling, the movement. If they keep playing it safe, they'll fade into irrelevance. Legacy organizations face a choice: cling to old ways or adapt and support the new movement. Here's the big question: is the old model of advocacy broken? The rise of digital grassroots activism is redefining what it means to fight for change.